Welcome everyone, I'm Video42 and I will be a newsreader. Well, actually a patch reader. Patch note reader is probably better. So as you probably know, Alpha 18.4 patch has been released to the stable version. So if you're using the stable version, the latest stable version of 7 Days to Die, you probably are on it. And many people don't actually read the patch note because it's a little bit dry and kind of boring. But fortunately, that's where I come in. I'll run through all the patch notes so you don't have to. If you like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel and help me grow, so I can keep on making all this awesome content for you. And of course, ring that notification bell and everything. So I will leave a link to the patch note in the description below, so if you want to go have a look, go follow that link. So, Alpha 18.4 patch is out. Nice. It actually does not have a ton of things, but it has some things that you probably will find is interesting. So let's start with the things that they've added. So let's look at the first one, and this is actually quite good. It says dice on junk turrets now display the color when placed on the ground. And as you know from before, if you have a bunch of junk turrets and your friends have a bunch of them, it's really difficult to tell whose is whose. Let's try here. I have our two junk turrets. Let's modify. Let's put on this one. This one becomes blue, and let's do this one red. So if I then put these ones down, oh, it actually is nice and red. Oh, okay, that's really awesome. Ooh, look at this. Nice. This is what we want to have for the vehicles. Why don't they have this for the vehicles? Isn't this similar? I mean, imagine you having your motorcycle in nice bright red. I mean, you don't even have to wash off the zombie blood. But anyway, having this for the church really does help. It's something that was definitely needed. Second thing is the debug shot command now we don't really care about this one. This one might be useful if you're reporting bugs to the fun pimps. So the third one is toggling of local player ignored by AI using left shift plus keypad star. So let's see if we can get that one to work. Let's have a Darlene here. Now if I do that, yeah, it's true. Oh, nice. I believe the AI is still working, but oh yeah, they see the AI is still working, but she doesn't actually see me. She totally ignores me. This is nice. It was one of the issues previously that you could actually toggle off and on the AI by using just star, but that's not really that nice because it means that they stop working entirely. This one allows you to toggle off so that they will keep walking, keep moving, but they're going to ignore the player. Really nice for testing things out. Thank you, the Fun Pimps. Something that has been asked for a long time, spectator mode for admins. So you can now spectate as an admin, and that's really nice if you're having a multiplayer server. It's something that I believe there are some server mods that allow you to sort of approximate it in some way, but this is really good. It allows you to sort of follow along with some other player. Unfortunately, I'm single player here, so I can't really show it up, but that should be really nice. It's something that you can use on a server if they're having some issues, because now you can see what they got themselves into. And the fifth feature is rotate back is assigned to tapping reload. What does that mean? It's a little bit cryptic, but if you're a builder, you will love this. You might know, let's say I have this one and I want to have it in a particular direction. Let's say I want to have it like this. And then I press past it. And then I have to cycle through, I don't know, 40 different ways in order to get it back. No, you hit R and you're rotating backwards. So you see I'm rotating forward, back, and that basically means that if you miss it, you don't have to go until you hit it again. You just hit R a couple of times and you'll be back to the one you want to have. And thank you, Fun Pimps. This was really needed. It just makes it so much smoother now that we're using the shape menu. The next thing they've changed is changing time with the commands or time slider now recalculates the blood moon day. And what does that mean? If you're just playing a single player and you're not changing anything, you might not have run into it. But let's say I'm on day 660 and there are zombies coming, which is fine. And then I changed the time to be, let's say, 22, something like that. Let's say I'm testing something or something went wrong. I started doing this and something went wrong. And I'm like, okay, wait. I want to bring the time back to earlier on. And you'll see there's no more blood moon or kill all. Come on, go away, please. Okay. What would happen in previous versions is that there would be no more Blood Moon Horde. You could only trigger the next Blood Moon Horde, which means that 667, you could never re-trigger 660. And that was a bit of an issue, because if something went wrong and you wanted to fix the time, you couldn't do that really very well. For me testing, the reason I'm on day 660 is because every time I run a test, I have to increment to the next Blood Moon Horde. So I have to go up, and that affects a lot of things, such as, for instance, the game stage. But now you can actually finally change that. Let's say if I bring it back to 553, it's going to be a Blood Moon Horde, which is nice then. And I can just run the Horde without having to continually increment it. So if you're not testing or fixing your maps, you probably don't care, but for us who do, it's actually quite convenient. Bind horn to the D-pad right. Well, I don't use the controller, so it doesn't really matter. Localization now includes community feedback, so maybe there's some tweaks and fixes. So let's go through some of the things that they've actually fixed. Drunken Disorderly now works with Moonshine. I guess it's good. I don't really use it very much. So hat mods no longer have hair poking through the helmet. I guess that's visual. A big one that you probably care about if you're playing on multiplayer servers is that claim blocks now properly protect against explosive. Now, I haven't really highlighted this much in the past because it's actually a really bad way to grief your server in 18.3. If you have a claim block in 18.3 and earlier, you can actually just destroy other players in PvE by using explosive. You just dump a bunch of dynamite and it'll blow up their base, even if their land claim block protected, because it didn't actually protect. But now they have fixed this, and this is really good because it's going to be really helpful for servers. Less griefing. There are a couple of barter changes. Better barter no longer allows better prices at vending machines, which is, I guess, right. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to argue with a vending machine. And same with intimidation with the 44 Magnum, no longer works on the vending machine. So stop threatening them. Leave them alone. Another thing that you might not really care about too much, but I see it on my server all the time when I'm trying to share, especially when I'm streaming, I'm trying to share waypoints. So if you have let me show this by having a lot of waypoints on the map, and you'll see waypoints on the not on the screen no longer activate when moving the mouse over the screen. So what happened was that, let's say you have all these waypoints, and then I have one over here, and it would actually activate. So I would select one, for instance. Let's say I want to show this one and I want to share it, and then I move my mouse, and suddenly, if I go over here, it'll change, obviously, right? But even if I was over here or something, I could actually end up hitting another waypoint that was over here, and it would change, let's say, to this one. And then it's really difficult to go up and share it because it keeps changing if you're moving your mouse around, and then you have to move your map in a way that there's no waypoints around, and that's really annoying. So fortunately, they fixed it. They removed an XP cheat. I don't use that, so no issue for me. Ramp shapes no longer delete faces to allow exploits, and this was actually an issue previously. I ran across it now and then, not to exploit it, but when I was building, let's say I wanted to put down a ramp like this, it would actually start deleting blocks behind it, which was really, really annoying because you build something and then you have a block here, and then you put down this one, and this one might just vanish. Annoying as hell. And this is the same thing. They no longer delete faces to allow exploits. Oh, a nice one. Tar paper can now be picked from the paint menu. Let's try that out. Let's see. We have here, which is the tar paper. I mean, it should be black, obviously. Tar paper? This one. Oh, that's actually not too bad. This is a pretty nice black. I guess it's the one that they have on the POIs on the ceilings. This is a pill case side, black granite. Yeah, no, this is nice. It gives sort of a matte black to play around with compared to, you know, something like this, which is obviously the shingles, so they're not quite right. You have camo, you have shingles asphalt. Yeah, no, this one is nice. I like it. That gives you, again, just gives you more options for how to paint. And there were some issues with forges, apparently, that sometimes could make them slow down the game. So that has been fixed. I don't think I really experienced it, but, you know, it's good that they fix it. No more crashes caused by the electrical fence. That's really good. Having crashes because of using electricity is really annoying. And I think this connected to this as well. Warning spam by electric fences wiring is now also fixed. Junk turret hits and kills do not trigger perk bonuses while holding related weapon anymore. And that's good. That was the thing we had previously with traps in general, that if you were holding on to, let's say, a burning sledgehammer, it would actually set some zombies on fire if your blade trap or your dart trap were hitting them. Junk Turret also respects party members that are not allies. Good, so it doesn't start killing your friends just because they're not allies. We do need more granularity with this whole ally thing. Now you have allied and party, but there's no real way of sort of assigning that who can do what to your base things. Another thing that I actually wanted to use lately was the invisible from debug menu and invisible hotkey now properly do what is expected. So if you go into debug menu and you choose invisible, it used to do nothing. Players could see you just fine, but now I believe it will be properly invisible, which I believe is also connected to them adding spectating. And now some fixes for localization. Again, you might care about this if you have an issue with localization. The only thing I really noticed was that the batter up volume 7 name and description are correct again. That was something that was incorrect before. This is 4, 5, 6. What? Ah, there it is. It used to have it and then it vanished and now it's back. Oh, so this is the manual chain mod. Okay, that's good. Before it basically said something about batter up 7. That's it. It didn't have any description. It didn't have anything, so you couldn't tell what it actually did. And those are the changes that we have in Alpha 18.4. A little bit thin, I think. I think they're spending most of their time on Alpha 19 now, which maybe is a good thing. It does mean, however, that we don't get a lot of changes, a lot of addition into Alpha 18 anymore. It's mostly bug fixes, some small tweaks and everything here and there, but nothing really significant. So what do you think? What are other things that you want them and really think that they need to put in for Alpha 18.5? Should there be an Alpha 18.5? Let me know in the comment section below. And if there shouldn't be an Alpha 18.5, well, when do you think Alpha 19 is going to come out? Give me your best prediction in the comment section. And I'll catch you again next time, if I survive this Blood Moon Horde. Oh god, I have to run away.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.